Massachusetts native James Hornfischer recently came to Framingham for a book signing of his newest work of military history, The Fleet at Flood Tide, America at Total War in the Pacific, 1944 to 1945. A story of the United States' rise as global superpower at the end of the war in the Pacific, The Fleet at Flood Tide draws on new primary sources and personal accounts by Americans and Japanese alike. Hornfischer, a former resident of Framingham, now lives in Austin, Texas, but still has family locally, making this stop on the book tour even more special.
In the 60s and 70s, Flags of Our Fathers photos taken on Iwo Jima. And I think we tend to know these campaigns by the movies, by the photography. Otherwise, it's kind of this alphabet soup of names. Kwajalein, Eniwetok, Saipan, Tinian, Guam, Guadalcanal. What do they all mean? Why do they matter? So the point of the book is to kind of highlight this really crucial campaign in the Marianas Islands. And the reason it's crucial is it finally puts us in a position to start bombing Japan with long-range bombers. So its strategic importance was the eventual use of these islands as airfields. And so these three components of military operations are at the center of this book. We have the naval fighting that takes place around the islands. The biggest aircraft carrier battle of the war takes place in defense of the Marianas Islands, the amphibious operations for seizing these islands, and then the bombing operations that are staged from the islands against the home islands of Japan. So the story coalesces around three commanders representing each of the legs of the triad we talk about. I've talked about Admiral Spruance. Spruance was sort of the methodical, thoughtful planner, very coolly calculating, and this was his heyday, planning and carrying out the most strategically important invasion of the war. We have Kelly Turner, who was a ferocious individual, very willful, very prickly, very difficult, but he was a master of detail and a master of carrying out complex plans. He would literally stand on his command ship as the operation is proceeding and be able to direct it in real time. And then third, we have Paul Tibbets, who was the commander of the 509th Composite Group, which was the atomic B-29 striking force that dropped both atomic bombs on Japan in the end. From these islands that Admiral Spruance and Turner seized in the summer of '44. This is really the fulcrum for the eventual dropping of the hammer on Japan itself in this effort to end the war.